Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Ready Set podcast. My name's Ricky.
My name's Angus.
I'm Derek.
And today we're talking about the newest trend in Vancouver, Michelin stars.
Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, Canada rarely, well, I wouldn't say rarely, but they didn't really have too many Michelin star restaurants.
Wait, did we have any at all? I thought we just started having Michelins in Canada.
Yeah, we just started because they just decided to come over here. So Toronto was first, and I forgot how many they got, but just this past week they released, I believe, 8 restaurants that got 1 Michelin star, and
Right, we didn't get any that had 2 or 3, right?
No, none. Which is, I guess, in a way, it's a little surprising, but also a little not surprising. I hear their criteria is quite stringent. But, you know, I'm sure those of you who have been to Vancouver or are from Vancouver would know that we actually have quite a few good restaurants here. And so there's been a bit of debate whether or not these 8 restaurants that were on the list would have been their first choices for picks on restaurants that deserve a Michelin star.
So you're saying, okay, so let me simplify that for you. What you're saying is that these 8 restaurants don't deserve the Michelin
Hey,
star.
I didn't say that.
Restaurant owners will give you the address of Derek's at the end of this podcast. Stay tuned, so please watch through, you know.
Hey, I didn't say that. I didn't say they don't deserve it. But, you know, everyone's opinion is a little bit different. I mean, I can't really say because I haven't been to all those restaurants that are on the list.
But you've been to a few, right?
I've been to a few. One of the best things about Vancouver is the Vancouver Dine Out, actually. It's gotten okayer but every year, but
It's getting overpriced.
it is
is.
getting
It's
overpriced.
Freaking when they first started this dine out thing, it was affordable. It was a great experience. And then after they start selling out each year, they're like, oh my god, this is a great way to
Earn money.
earn money, rack up our prices.
We should explain what Dine Out Vancouver is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Dine Out Vancouver is a thing that happens every year, February, I think, or late January.
Yes, that's correct.
Until the end of February. And that's just when a few restaurants participate in the Dine Out Vancouver experience where you can order their 3 or 4 course meal for a set menu price.
Yeah.
And it's usually a little bit cheaper than going to that restaurant normally and then getting the 3 course, right?
Yeah. But
So-
now it costs even more.
Costs more now, yeah.
Yeah, and usually you think of these dine out places are more of trying out new restaurants, right? Like more fancier restaurants that they want to kind of bring in more customers.
Yeah.
But now like any place do it. They even do it for, not hating, but they do it for like Bubble World or like Pearl Castle. And they do set meals of like ordering out of the most basic, like maybe Taiwanese chicken with rice
God.
and maybe a bubble tea
Oh
for a
my
set
God.
meal. I'm like, bruh, this is basic food.
Right. Normally, restaurants would have like their own special 3-course meal that's not on the menu for the dine out experience, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That feels so much more standardized.
Commercialized.
Yes.
It's like you'll always see at least one commonality between a lot of restaurants in terms of a dish kind of deal. And I was like, I'm not sure if that's because it's cheaper to do it. And it's just their own little twist on the thing. But yeah, it used to be where it was meant for you to try out a restaurant where you normally would not attend. And actually, some of these restaurants I did try out during Dine Out. But for those of you that don't know, I will read out the restaurants that got the Michelin star. So, in no particular order, Annalena, Barbara, Burdock and Company, Kissa Tanto, Masayoshi, published on Maine, Aiden Kwanjuda Beijing Duck House.
Not worth. I'm going to say that right now.
Angus will have a little bit more to say on that one later. St. Lawrence. That is actually one of the ones I do agree that belong on that menu, and that is that it? Yeah, that is it.
Okay, so have any of you been to any of those?
I've been to 0 of those.
Derek, you said you've been to one of them, right?
I've been to Annalena.
You've been to a few, right?
That was because of Dino, actually. That was the one I went to because of Dino. And I actually quite liked their food. Their stuff was good. If you were to ask me, would I go there on a regular basis? No, not really. It is definitely a more fine dining establishment.
So how much are you dropping a night for that place?
Ooh.
Per person.
Per person?
These
It's
days,
like $40.
it would be it'd be more like
50?
$70 to $80 a person.
And that's not including your bottle of wine?
Yeah, not including a bottle of
70,
wine.
$80?
Yeah,
What are you ordering? Gold?
no fancy stuff, just fancy dishes.
With gold flakes? Damn. Like
Yeah.
it's like a steakhouse or something?
No, it's like a fusion, contemporary fusion.
Temporary?
So-
It's just white people food.
It's interpretation, like dishes interpreted differently. Yeah,
Pop-Tarts.
yeah, but
Hot dogs.
Burgers.
With gold flakes.
Yeah, but one of the arguing points for the Michelin Star Guide, or one of the more controversial sides, was their criteria that they have. It's definitely more based. Like, a lot of people noted that it's definitely more based off of like European standards, where it's like, because the Michelin Star Guide originally originated from Europe, right? And so a lot of people were complaining that the Asian representation side of it, it's very hard for them to get like a Michelin Star Guide. And then, like, for this one, it was okay, I think, because they had two. One was actually a sort of a mix. The Kisatanto was like Italian-Japanese fusion.
Yes.
And then the other one was just pure Japanese, which was Masayoshi, right? So,
Oh, there's also the Kwan Beijing duck place.
yeah, that was the Asian one. So I was like, Vancouver itself, I think because of our big Asian population, it was kind of hard for them to not even out those standards. But I think from what I've read online, like a few of the other places they've gone to issue out the Michelin Star Guides is just like very biased towards the more European / Westernized style kind of
And it has to
restaurants.
look fancy, right? It has to look more on the,
The presentation.
higher end.
Actually, I think that's a big discrepancy is Western restaurants value presentation and service more than
The
like
food
Asian
itself.
restaurants, right? Right? Like Asian restaurants will focus more on
Food.
affordability and food rather than the experience. Like,
Yeah.
Like the seating, like tables and all that shit.
Yeah. Fingering your soup.
Right. Right. If there's like a thumb in the soup as seasoning.
Yeah.
Yep. So if you guys have ever, like, well, I've only been to that one, I think, and no, I've been to two. I went to that Beijing Duck House too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and then I'm sure Angus will have an opinion on
Oh,
that.
well, I haven't been there, but
Yeah, but like, from someone who's been in the food industry, we could argue that choice might not have been the best. You know?
Yes.
You can explain to elaborate.
I
a
think
little bit.
I think it's because it's due to the price you're paying and the quality you're getting. It's not what you're paying for, right? There's a lot of, like, Vancouver. There's so many great Chinese restaurants out there, but some of them are a bit more on the dingy side. But the food is bomb.
Right.
But like, customer service isn't that great. The interior design,
Looks
everything,
old,
it looks a bit
right?
more old, rundown. Maybe not like crazy rundown, but
It's like you're back in the 70s or the 80s, right?
yeah, and like
Well, not that bad, but like peeling wallpaper or something like that.
or
right?
like, you know,
Fingerprints on the glass.
yeah, washroom not as clean.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dirty washrooms. Right
yeah,
there.
but usually these are the places that
Have
has
really,
really
good
good
food.
food,
Because
yeah.
they focus on the food rather than like a fucking dirty toilet.
yeah,
or
because they're
whatever,
too
right?
cheap of renovating the place.
Yeah. Mhm.
But like that Beijing place, they target more for the Western, Western audience.
Yeah.
Yes, where it's not like, if you were to say, do Chinese people go? Like, they don't really go to these restaurants because it's overpriced. Number one. Second, with that price, they can get even something better at another place, and they can possibly even save money.
Yeah.
or they can get more food.
Or they can get more food.
Or they can get more
Exactly.
food.
So it's a bit. That's why a lot of Chinese people don't even go there, and you only see the Western audience that goes there.
Right.
Or a company if they're like
Or a
want to be
company.
really fancy about it.
Or
right?
like very rich people, Asian people that goes there. You know,
Yeah.
for like it's mostly the experience you're going
Right.
there for,
yeah,
right?
yeah, because the part of
Or
the
the
Michelin
flex.
star guy is
Yeah,
it's like
it's the
you
flex.
get
The
the
flex. It's
experience.
the face.
it's bring it back to the podcast with the face. Go check it out if you haven't.
Yeah, and then you get the atmosphere, which is the
It
interior
is.
design is like super nice and
Yeah.
like the service is above average, I'd say, for an Asian
Yeah.
place, and like, but yeah, food wise,
It's okay.
yeah, it's okay, but it's not like anything. I would.
It's not
say
Michelin star, is what
yeah.
Derek's trying to say.
I would say it's like it's nothing. I've had better, and then it's like, but like I said, I've had better at a place that's not as fancy in the interior,
Yeah.
or as dingy looking,
Right.
But the Michelin star guide feels like it's only meant for fine dining, and I mean they did do those mentions for like the other restaurants. Like they didn't get a star, but they got that bib award
Oh,
or
right,
something
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's
It's like a runner-up.
Or like a
It's-
honorable mention.
yeah, honorable mention.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think like Lunch Lady got one of that, right?
What's lunch lady?
Lunch Ladies on commercial? It's like a Vietnamese.
Yes, yeah. It's a chain that Anthony Bourdain went to originally from Vietnam.
Although I think there's some sort of controversy whether that is like originally Lunch Lady chain or not.
Yeah, and then Phnom Penh, which
Phnom
we
Penh.
know.
Yeah.
That's the dingy one, and but like obviously they didn't get a Michelin star because if you ever walked into that place, it's literally like a mom and pop restaurant where you kind of sit down. It's super crowded, and not the
Phnom
cleanest.
Which place?
Phnom Penh.
Yeah, but it's like, how's their? I know they're known for their chicken wings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what about their soup? Is anything else good?
Butter beef.
Yeah, the butter beef. It's
pretty
just
good.
like 2 or 3 things that they're known for.
Yeah.
to
Oh,
be
that's
honest.
it,
Like,
right? Everything is kind of
Yeah.
like.
Yeah,
Beef
everything
luk
else
luk.
is
Yeah.
so.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So like obviously they wouldn't get it, but like it's popular enough that they got like an honorable mention. But like given how the exterior and interior kind of look, you probably wouldn't expect that either. So that's why I'm like saying like a lot of Michelin star guides, it feels like it is only geared more towards fine dining. But I did hear they did like award some Singapore stall, or is it Malaysian? The hawker center stalls.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, one of them got like a Michelin star out
Yeah,
of
and
it.
it's quite cheap too. They didn't even raise the price after that.
Yeah,
Yeah, they kept it.
yeah,
Affordable.
Yeah,
But
affordable.
that was like that. I remember that made like very big headlines because that was like the first time ever Michelin star ever awarded something to like
Yeah.
a stall instead of just like a pure restaurant, right?
Yeah.
And it kind of begs the difference. Like, I don't think that should be the standard. Like, maybe if they were to create something, maybe not like Michelin star, they could be like Michelin something else, and then it'd be like, this is for like the more affordable side of like suggestions, right? Rather than just like purely more focused on like fine dining, the fine dining aspect and the experience kind of deal. So
So what you're saying is we should all take away this Michelin star thing altogether.
no, I didn't say that. I think it's still good to help businesses drum up businesses, well, for the ones that get it anyways. But like, I would say don't take it at super face value.
Yeah.
So like, taste is subjective to what you've tasted before. Like all your past experience of restaurants you've tasted before, and if you haven't explored the food scene in a particular city entirely, which is like what happens, like because they send out random
for travelers
people
and
to
whatnot.
there, yeah, and like obviously they don't have time to try out every single restaurant, but like I believe those things, it shouldn't be like a one-time thing. It should be something that's like over time they've gone there multiple times or they've tried a place multiple times and it's like consistently good. Then that should earn them that kind of that should earn them that kind of reward. Like it's like the Beijing duck house where Angus and I were like, well, we've kind of had better duck itself, the Peking duck itself elsewhere, right?
Right. Yes.
But like obviously we we can't speak on behalf of the person that the reviewer, the Michelin Guide reviewer that was there. It's like maybe that was maybe he only went to a couple of Peking duck houses and that Beijing duck house happened to be the best.
Yeah,
right?
Or maybe they bribed him or her.
Jeez.
That might be a thing.
The darkness right there.
Right, actually, that was something I was thinking was like, how much did this restaurant pay to get on the Michelin star? Like, is it somewhat corrupt? It probably is. To some degree, right?
Like the food industry is very small, right? Then like networking is huge, even for like any career. Networking is huge. So I'm pretty sure maybe they had some hookups. Something under the table, like get me on there. I'll give you some free chicken wings. And bam, you're on the list.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's like, or maybe like somebody leaked to them ahead of time, because like how Michelin Guide says they do their reviews is that they send out their reviewers anonymously to the restaurant, and they are supposed to pay for their own meals and review the food like that. At least that's how I read it on the internet, as to how they're supposed to have done the guides. But sometimes what people say and what they actually do are two different entire things. So, it's up to you what you want to believe on that. I'm just saying, don't take the Michelin Guide at its most face value. Like, just be like, oh, this place is the best because they got one Michelin star.
Yeah.
It's like, no, there could be many, many places that are like in the same genre of that restaurant that might be even better or more suitable for your taste, right? Because it's subjective. Yeah.
So, outside of Vancouver, have you guys been to other like Michelin star restaurants?
Yeah.
I know you have.
I've been to one in Japan, like a ramen shop.
Oh.
Yo, the lineup was like 2 hours.
Holy shit. Was it worth it though?
It was definitely worth it, but
fuck.
would I do it again? It was a long ass lineup. Like we woke up at 6. We start lining up. We got there like close to maybe 6:45 or something like that.
Oh.
We didn't get in until close to like 10 or
Whoa.
11 because they don't open till like, I think it was like 9 or like
Oh my God.
9:30 or 10 or something.
Oh my God.
So we didn't get in until like 11ish, and they already cut off the line at like 11.
Yeah.
So people were lining up.
Jeez.
It was a long lineup, but it was a very great experience because the food was actually very good. And like my expectations for food isn't that high, I would say. Like I know what's good, but it's not something I'd be like, okay, I just have to like
Have it.
yeah, it's like I have to. My standard is this. I can't eat anything lower. But my parents' expectation when it comes to food is crazy high. So even my mom was very impressed. So that means it's like it's pretty good,
Yeah.
and it was very affordable. It was around like $15.
Oh shit.
It was just
Nice.
ramen, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah, yeah.
broth, like maybe 15, 16. But that was like 4 years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was a lot cheaper back then. But it was very unique because they had a shoyu based, soy sauce based, but it had Chinese fusion into it.
Oh.
Yes. So it's like they're, you know how we have char siu, right?
Yeah.
Like Chinese barbecue pork, they put that into that,
wow.
which is
Wow.
different.
Yeah.
But it's soy sauce based
Yeah.
soyu, which I never had that type of flavor before because it's super light.
Yeah.
Like it's extremely light but rich in flavor,
Wow.
which is something I never tried before.
Not for shoyu. Yeah.
Yeah, not for shoyu. Usually, like
Usually
I
it's
know
just, like,
what.
salty.
Yeah,
soy sauce. Wow.
but it was very very light, and the way it was the broth, basically is what you're paying for.
Yeah.
So I think it was worth it, but is it something I would do again? Definitely not, because the lineup was really long and I was starving and it was in the cold.
Oh.
So, but the ramen tastes really good because it was really warm.
Oh, that adds to it.
It does add to it, but like it was. I think it's really important for people to just try out the Michelin stars, see how you like it, but don't just like what you say face value. Don't say, oh, this is the best because it's the Michelin star. I think you should try out different restaurants, more dingy ones. Maybe you'll find a hidden gem, right? And then from there you can kind of see, is it worth it or not? Because usually these places, they tend, as soon as they get like some kind of Michelin star, they tend to rack up the prices.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. And then
they know that they could sustain themselves after the publicity, right?
Yeah, it's like a flex. It's like a great thing on your resume.
Oh yeah,
we are the Michelin star.
Yeah. And then people go, you know, especially go to those restaurants where you see maybe movie stars go to. They always put a picture on the wall and be like, The Rock went to this store or went to this restaurant. It means it's good. So it's like that. Always, I think it's good to keep an open mind, try a lot of different things and make your own opinion.
Yeah.
And not just take someone else's opinion and say, that's right. Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
That was a very controversial topic. So Derek is saying that those 8 restaurants don't deserve it.
No. I said it can be opened up for debate.
Okay, so which one do you think deserves it? Just let's end it here.
Out of the ones I've been to, I've only been to Annalena and the Duck House. So Annalena would be. I'd say they're good for that. St. Lawrence has always had a very good reputation, even amongst the foodies. So I wasn't surprised that one went on. And the other one I was not surprised about was Published on Main, because Published on Main was the one that got the best restaurant in Canada.
What do they do? It sounds like a newspaper company.
Published on Main.
That's what I thought it was.
It's just more Western style food, right? Yeah.
Oh, it's like steak. It's like a keg sort of thing.
Fancier than that, but
it's like steaks, mashed potatoes.
Yeah, that kind of style.
That kind of style. Okay.
More unique style.
More fancy a little bit. Okay.
So. Like, those ones are fine. Like for you and me, I'm pretty sure we would agree maybe not the Duck House.
Definitely not the
Duck House. But
there's so many better Chinese restaurants out there. Like, I'm not going to... I'll be honest. In Chinese restaurants, chefs, they change really, really quick. They leave and they go from another restaurant to another. So, like, maybe in 1 or 2 months, that chef would be there and the food is amazing. And then next month or 2, they leave.
Right.
Because like the one thing in Chinese industry is, or the food industry for Chinese restaurants is, chefs
jump around like
crazy because mostly they all get paid in cash. So if the owner can't pay them enough, they just leave. So there's no like one restaurant that's good in Chinese restaurant, where maybe it's the same for Western restaurants, but I feel like the food industry is all the same. So whoever pays the most, people jump.
Right.
So there's no like, this restaurant's the best. Unless that chef opened up his own restaurant, then that's different. But yeah, it all comes down to...
It's like competition and poaching.
Exactly. There's a lot of poaching happening and, you know, cash only. It's very common. But okay, so those 2 restaurants is your recommended?
Yeah.
Do deserve it. Okay.
I would say that.
Everything else doesn't. All right. We'll end it there. So thanks again for tuning in. You can find us on our socials. We're on like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. We're on Spotify. We got a link tree. Everything's there. But until then, we'll see everyone on the next one.
Nice.
Perfect.
All right.
Bye.